No.
Good morning. Good morning. Lying. It's not morning. It's afternoon. We've already had a coffee or two. Do you know what day it is today?
Monday.
Monday, April the 27th. Oh my goodness. Look at the cuteness of that couple. Married 18 years ago today. What are the odds? I don't know what the odds are, but they probably weren't good.
They were not in our favor.
They were not favorable
No.
to us. No. But for the grace of God. When I look at stats, you look at the alcoholic and those that are trying to stay sober, which is usually the goal. That's when you start. Is 3% people that try to get sober stay sober. I wonder what the odds were for us. 0.003. We did it. But for the grace of God, not on our power, but on His.
Definitely
So
not
if
on
we
our
can
power.
do it, anybody can do it. What's the divorce rates in Canada? I guess you're not Google.
No. I mean,
But they're high, like 50%.
yeah, and I think there's a lot of people that are in really hard marriages. And I feel for those people. I do.
And I saw a little poll that the whoever did on the news for COVID, and there was 100%, and only 32% of that was they were grateful. The others were anxious, bored, and I forget the other one. But yeah, so I think that's the same in our culture. Is a lot of people are suffering right now with anxiety and boredom and depression and all those things. Alcohol rates have gone 25% higher
Yeah.
since COVID.
Canadian Center for Addiction,
Yeah.
Substance Use, I think it was. Substance Use and Addiction. Because, not every misuse of substance is an addiction.
That's true.
And a lot of us are going to places of ease and comfort, looking for ease and comfort. And what's the length of time that they say it takes to start a new habit?
21 to 28 days.
So
And that's
anything that
where-
we've been doing in this time, now
Oh my goodness, I'm
we've
habitual
created a new habit, and it'll be hard for people to get
to get back
back
into
on track. And so if people are thinking of this, talking to myself,
and 3 other people.
I've been in this new habit since the end of October, but
What's your habit? Wearing pajamas in and outside of the house? Well, I was in a routine of intermittent fasting, and I have lost that totally.
yeah.
So then you're telling me it'll take me 21 days to get that back? Or at least like be happy
At
and get it
least,
back.
yeah.
Oh, I'm going to go through withdrawal. We're planning like May, right? May will be better people.
Let's just be better people and then talk about it, not talk about being better people.
Monday, May the 3rd or whatever that
No.
is. That's when
I
we're going
just
to be
told
better
you,
person.
don't
I'm
talk
going to go
about
back
it.
to intermittent
No,
fasting.
stop it.
The new,
Don't
we
make your
are
no.
It's
All
the
right,
new
letting
normal.
go of the need to control.
No.
For real.
Oh, letting go of the need to control. Marriage Day, the 27th. Awesome. You can't plan this stuff.
You just look ahead.
This is
rearrange
my
them.
this is my microphone, by the way. We're just letting the 3 people know. Like I'm not. I
Why?
got my because this is
Well, stop
what's
looking at it,
recording.
and it doesn't need to be in the frame. Anyway, the rewards from detachment are great. Serenity, a deep sense of peace, the ability to give and receive love in self-enhancing, energizing ways, and the freedom to find real solutions to our problems. That is from Melody Beattie's book, Codependent No More. Letting go of our need to control can set us and others free. It can set our higher power free to send the best to us. If we weren't trying to control someone or something, what would we be doing differently? What would we do that we're not letting ourselves do now? Where would we go? What would we say? What decisions would we make? What would we ask for? What boundaries would be set? When would we say no or yes? If we weren't trying to control whether a person liked us or his or her reaction to us, what would we do differently? If we weren't trying to control the course of a relationship, what would we do differently? If we weren't trying to control another person's behavior, how would we think, feel, speak, and behave differently than we do now? What haven't we been letting ourselves do while hoping that self-denial would influence a particular situation or person? Are there some things we've been doing that we'd stop? How would we treat ourselves differently? How would we let ourselves enjoy life more and feel better right now? Would we stop feeling so bad? Would we treat ourselves better? If we weren't trying to control, what would we do differently? Make a list and then do it. Today I will ask myself what I would be doing differently if I weren't trying to control. And when I hear the answer, I will do it. God, help me let go of my need to control. Help me set myself and others free.
So the concept is control taking up most of your day,
Headspace.
and control being God's job. A unique attribute of God. Control. So letting go of control. That can be scary. I do a thing when I run LifeLab, or we were running the addiction treatment program. We did this thing called behavioral sequences. And so we react to outside cues. The outside cues cause inside cues to happen and tapes to play. And so I always ask, can you control the outside cues? And there's always that one guy in the treatment program that says, yeah, of course you can. And the reality is you cannot control outside cues. That's just the reality of control and the outside world. And so as an addict or an alcoholic, we try to control everything around us. We try to control everybody and everything because we are so out of control ourselves. And so where you have control, you can't have growth. And so that's a big thing on playing God, is trying to control the outcomes and be the chess master. Where'd you go?
The dogs.
Oh my goodness. They're controlling
They
you.
control our house.
Anything stand out for you on this wedding anniversary day?
No.
When we let go of control, we have a lot more time, a lot more headspace.
I like how it says letting go of our need to control can set us and others free. So it's not just about setting others free, but it's also about setting ourselves free.
Do you think the addict is more controlling, or the codependent would be more controlling?
These are where the
Or do you think that?
These are where the conversations get dicey.
Do you think, or do you think it's relative? It's both are equally controlling, just controlling the opposite ends of control.
I think that you can't be in a very unhealthy relationship by yourself. When you're in a very unhealthy relationship, you're in it with typically a very unhealthy person. And so it's a round and round.
So the addict is trying to control everything out there, and the codependent is trying to control everything in here. Trying to control the outcomes and manipulate the safety of the addict, and making sure that he gets to work on time, or the family isn't aware of the true reality of the addiction, those kind of things. And then the addict is more trying to control money, finances, all those things.
But I think, the codependent tries to control those things too.
That's true.
I had access to your line of credit, and I just couldn't do anything about it, but I could sure see it, and I tried. I tried to control. I tried to I tried all kinds of things. I think that it's a vicious cycle, and it's a dance that goes round and round. And even when you're not talking about addiction necessarily, but when you're talking about two people trying to interact with each other, and there's when it goes from when you're on a roller coaster with someone, whether it's addiction, identified as addiction, or whether it's just a relationship that just feels like a roller coaster, or some relationships, it's all like buried. Like some relationships, it's not even about addiction. It's just about like such a deeply buried maintenance of emotions that like you actually can't even go there with them. But I mean, for us, it was a roller coaster.
And the
What do you
reality
feel like
is,
we're on
uh,
now?
the world tilt to whirl.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding.
Or
I think
is it
we're on a
just
lovely cruise, a
one of
cruise
those?
ship.
Oh, I was thinking
That
about
stops part the Ferris wheel.
the Ferris wheel that we rode
were
in Montreal.
Yeah, that was nice. Looking at these people skating and doing
Yeah, it
exercise.
was lovely.
I think the reality is we have no control. The absolute reality is the only thing that we can control or take responsibility of is our own emotions and the way we react. And most of us need the power of God to do that properly and to be loving and to be tolerant. We need a spiritual experience, a spiritual awakening to be controlled inside. But the outside, look at the pandemic. What control does anybody really have? Like we're out of control. We're being controlled. And so it's up to me to react to that in a loving, positive way where I'm actually filled with gratitude and joy instead of panic and worry. Woo! COVID-19. All right, that's it for this afternoon. We will talk soon.